It's time for From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine with Trey Schaap. A golf podcast for those who love golf, struggle with golf, and just like to enjoy the outdoors and fellowship with friends, all while chasing a ball around, trying to put it in a 4 1/4 inch diameter hole. From the Shortgrass is presented by UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, and brought to you by Stevens Incorporated, an independent financial services firm with the freedom to focus on what matters most. By Beechwood Hospitality, we partner with you to deliver high-yield results by managing, developing, and investing in top-quality hospitality assets. And now, from the Shortgrass, here's your host, Trey Schaap.
Welcome to another edition of From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. I am your host, Trey Schaap. The 5th annual Jackson T. Stevens Cup was held last week at Shoreacres Golf Club in Lake Bluff, Illinois. Named in honor of the late Jackson T. Stevens, the former chairman of Augusta National Golf Club, the Jackson T. Stevens Cup has hosted one of the strongest fields in NCAA Division I golf on an annual basis since 2021, the first year it was held at the Alotian Club. This year, individual champions were crowned following 54 holes of stroke play. Macy Pate became the third woman from Wake Forest to win the Stevens Cup in its 5 years, following Rachel Keene in 2022 and Carolina Chikara last year at Oklahoma City Golf and Country Club. The junior from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, shot 8 under par, 67, 68, 67 to secure her first collegiate victory. I had a chance to sit down with Macy after her win. On the tee, the individual women's champion of the Jackson T. Stevens Cup, Macy Pate.
Macy, congratulations. 2025 Jackson T. Stevens Cup champion. How does that sound?
It sounds pretty good. I'm not sure if it's really set in yet, but feels awesome.
To win your first collegiate event at Shoreacres on the banks of Lake Michigan has to feel pretty good, I would think.
Yeah, this place is so special, and I've just felt good all week. From the time I played the college am, just walking the course and just kind of admiring Seth Rayner's incredible design. I've just been kind of living it up, and today it's really special.
What did you think about the course when you showed up?
I thought it was going to be a very good test of golf. I thought three under par rounds would be pretty good out here. And I also knew that ball striking and some good putting would lead to some good scores.
How were you able to play as well as you did, and what was working good for you over the last 2 days?
Yeah, I was ball striking really well, and I was making a lot of putts. So the first day I rolled in several long putts, made a lot of short putts as well, and that kind of just got my confidence up. These greens are so pure that if you start it online, the ball's going to go in a lot of times. And then just picking really good targets going into the green. Like I said, this course is tough. There's a lot of tough pins out here, a lot of runoffs into some really tough places. So just being really disciplined to our smart targets that my team picked out was what helped me the most.
How did your team, going through and talking with them at night about what you saw out there during the college am and getting ready for your first rounds on Monday, how did that help you kind of in your mind get a game plan ready for what you were going to face?
Yeah, my coaches do a great job of scouting a golf course for us. I played the college am, so I didn't get to play the real practice round with my team. But during that time, I was just trying to calibrate to everything, all my surroundings, and then I would rely on my team and my coaches to kind of make sure that I had a good game plan. They did a great job of that and just kind of making sure I kept my eye out for certain kind of red flags or certain areas we wanted to stay away from. And, we picked out, I would say, a pretty smart, safe, but aggressive game plan, and it worked out for us.
You said it hadn't sunk in yet that you're the champion, but it got pretty tight today at one point, and then you were able to stretch your lead back out. Did you know how tight it was?
I was keeping up with it in my head. I got off to not the best start with bogeys on 2 and 3, but I bounced back with a birdie on 4, and at that point I still want to say I was 1 back. So I just tried to kind of keep my composure and stay confident, and kept telling myself that, it's not over till it's over. And once I started the back nine, I started out with a couple good birdies, and that kind of separated me. And then I was just able to play my game coming in.
How does this make you feel going into the rest of the season here in the fall, and then look forward to the spring for Wake?
Yeah, I'm just excited. I didn't have a great week last week at the Annika, but we got a team win, which is really awesome to start out that way. And right now we've got a chance to win again this week, which is even more important than an individual win. So I really can't wait for our final two events of the fall, and then to get back started in the spring, see what we can do.
Do you think you have a chance, the team, to win a national title this year?
Just got goosebumps. Yeah, I think you always have a chance, but I think this year we've got a special group, and we're really deep, and we got a lot of good players with a lot of fight and a lot of hard workers, and I think we're just going to keep doing that throughout the year and prepare ourselves the best we can for La Costa.
Do you have a place for that silver plate?
It's going to be on display for a little bit. If not at my apartment, then definitely at my parents' house.
Well, congratulations. Well played and well deserved. You're the women's champion.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Macy Pate. You heard her talk about the chance that Wake Forest had to win the team title as well. Well, they did. It took extra holes, but they were able to beat Stanford 3-2. Wake Forest becomes the first team, men or women, in the 5-year history of the Jackson T. Stevens Cup to win the event twice. They last won it in 2023 at Trinity Forest in Dallas. And they tack on the win at Shoreacres at Lake Bluff, Illinois. I had a chance to catch up with the head coach of Wake Forest, Kim Llewellyn, before they had to rush to the airport to catch their plane back to Winston-Salem. On the tee, Kim Llewellyn.
Coach, congratulations. Second time that the Deacs have won the Jackson T. Stevens Cup.
Yes, wow. What an unbelievable event, venue, playing Stanford and it coming down to extra holes. What an exciting tournament, just an exciting event, and for Ann to do what she did and on that last hole was incredible.
It's your second win of the fall. I mean, you're 2 for 2. That has to feel pretty good.
Yeah, the girls keep saying we're 2 for 2, and we've had 2 individual winners, different ones. So what a great start to the season, and we just look forward for the rest of the year.
Following up Macy winning yesterday, today, what was the mindset going into the championship match?
We knew it was going to be tough playing Stanford. It's always tough playing Stanford. And I think, honestly, they just wanted to go out there. They continue to get better. They worked hard on the range this morning on the putting green. They wanted to make sure they had their A games for today. And I think 3 of them definitely did. And the other 2 sure did show up the first day, so it was a total team effort.
What was it like playing this golf course, Shoreacres, one of the best in the country, if not the world?
Unbelievable venue. And what was so cool about it, obviously the layout, the views, and all of that, but it plays different each day with different pin placements and different weather and different bounces. And so you get a different golf course every single day, and I think that's unique. And what a great venue for members to play every single day.
You've had 3 individual champions in this tournament, and you're the only team to win it twice. How does that feel?
Oh, I didn't know that, so that's great. Unbelievable. It always has the best teams. It's always a preview for NCAAs, and to be able to win a few times out here with this competition just means these young ladies are doing something right.
I guess you look forward to PGA Frisco next year.
100%. I can't wait for the invitation.
Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations to Wake Forest Women's Golf for their second win at the Jackson T. Stevens Cup. I'll get to the men's side after the break, but first, UAMS Ortho Now is now open at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. If you have an orthopedic injury, sports, work, or anything else, walk in and see the best in orthopedic care. No appointment is needed. Ortho Now, open Monday through Friday, 8 to 8, and Saturday, 8 to noon. It's all located at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. I'm back with more from the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine after the break.
The next time you travel to El Dorado and need overnight accommodations, the Haywood Hotel is where you need to stay. The Haywood El Dorado Tapestry Collection by Hilton is a great place to stay if you're in South Arkansas listening to live music or playing the challenging Mystic Creek Golf Club. Take time and relax in their bar for a drink before going out on the town for dinner. The Haywood, 210 South Washington, right in the heart of downtown El Dorado. Search the Haywood El Dorado on the web or call 800-293-0718 for reservations. The Haywood, a Beechwood hospitality property.
Strength is measured not by the number of accounts. Strength is placing value on relationships. It's having the vision and the guts to invest in growth. It's the commitment to responsibly manage your money. At Stephens, we believe that our strengths build success, not only for us, but for our clients. Stephens, member NYSE, SIPC.
I'm Dr. Lowry Barnes. When it comes to orthopedic care, there's no place like the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. We built this hospital just for you, with state-of-the-art surgical suites, advanced technology, and the state's largest group of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons. It's the best place in Arkansas to get you moving again. And if you need urgent orthopedic care, UAMS Ortho Now is right here for you at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, where motion lives and service leads.
Welcome back to this edition of From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. I am your host, Trey Schaap. On the men's side of things at the Jackson T. Stephens Cup at Shoreacres in Lake Bluff, Illinois, Will Sides became the first repeat winner in the 5-year history of the Stephens Cup. Following his playoff victory last year with a 2-stroke win this year, the senior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, playing for Southern Methodist University, shot 7 under par 68, 66, 69, making a birdie on his 17th hole to lock up the trophy by 2 shots. I had a chance to sit down with Will Sides after his win. On the tee, Will Sides.
Will, congratulations. Another Jackson T. Stephens Cup champion.
Thank you.
How was it?
It was awesome. You know, it's an amazing course and just a great event, well run, and really fun format. And so it was a really great experience, and glad we got to come back.
Last year it was a difficult setup at Oklahoma City Golf and Country Club. The wind played a big factor. Coming into this week here at Shoreacres, right on the banks of Lake Michigan, did you think, okay, the wind's going to play a factor, but did it really?
Yeah, no, I knew there was potentially going to be some wind off the lake, and you know, last year was really windy, but it was a pretty consistent wind, I'd say, and so you kind of knew where it was coming from and could play off it a little bit easier than last year. But definitely this third day, it definitely baked out the greens and fairways, and it was a lot firmer and faster, so that was difficult to deal with.
How did you adjust?
I think just, you know, clubbing down and really just trying to play short of pins and knowing they're going to bounce up, and then same thing with the fairways. There's some holes where you need to hit some irons and just maybe taking a club less and just being mindful that, you know, it's going to run out, because today it was a little bit firmer.
How do you think Shoreacres stood up to the test?
Oh my gosh, it was great. I mean, I knew they got some rain on the day before the practice round, so the practice round was a little softer and slower, and so I think guys thought that it was going to be a lot lower out here, but you know, it always works its way out where they got it really firm and fast and had some tough pin placements, and you know, I think it's always never as low as you think it's going to be, especially at a place like this. So it proved to play pretty difficult, and yeah, so it was tough.
You shot 2 under in your first 18. Mm-hmm. You shot 4 under in your second 18. That also included an eagle on 15. Tell me about that hole and how you were able to eagle it.
Yeah, so it was late in the day. You know, we're playing the back nine last, and hole 15, I got up there, just aimed kind of down the middle of the fairway, and knew I could either push it or pull it a little bit. I tried to get a little bit more out of it, so typically would draw it. So I hit a nice little draw 3-wood. Pin was in the back right and had like 223 yards, I believe. And Coach Parr and I were like, if we can land this somewhere middle of the green, a little bit past middle, it'll bounce right up there, and hit a perfect 5-iron, bounce right up there to 8 feet. And I had honestly a similar putt from this morning, probably a couple feet longer, and made it. So it was a nice one to get, and very, very good opportunity.
You started on the backside today, your final round, and then you make the turn, and you were even par, but then you rattle off a birdie at 1 and 2, and I saw the shot on 2. You stuck it.
Yeah, no, that was nice. I had a frustrating, 17 and 18. It 3-putt for par on 17, and then hit a bad tee shot and iron shot and barely missed a par putt on 18. So I hit 2 really good irons into hole 1 and then a wedge, I guess, into hole 2, and made a couple 8-footers for birdie, which was nice to get me kind of going into the back 9. And it was short-lived though. I made a bad bogey on 3, but it's all right. We still held together and played solid on the way in. So,
what does it mean to you to be the first ever repeat champion and 2-time champion of the Jackson T. Stevens Cup?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's something I never would have believed would happen, and to even have the opportunity to play this multiple times is amazing, and not something that most people will get to do in their career. So I think it's definitely a really special event, and really pleased to be able to have that opportunity. Yeah.
It's a team event too, and unfortunately, SMU didn't make the match play portion of it. But where do you go from here? Where do you leave Shoreacres with for not only just SMU but you as yourself?
Yeah. I'm still really confident in our team, and we have a lot of good guys, and got a good program, and so I know that we'll continue to improve and get better, and there's always stuff you can work on, and as going forward, I think that. Just get these good reps under our belts. Not often you get to play in front of TV and on Golf Channel, and it's the first time for a lot of people, and it's definitely a great learning experience that you can take with you. So I think that our team's going to learn from this and just build on it and get ready for a next couple events. Yeah.
Well, William, it was great to talk to you again. Congratulations. We talked last year, and here we are talking again.
Yeah,
so congratulations. It means you're a champion.
Thank you. Yeah, no, and enjoy it, and good to talk to you again as well.
Congratulations to William Sides, the first repeat winner individually of the Jackson T. Stevens Cup. In the men's team competition, the LSU men take home the 2025 Jackson T. Stevens Cup title. The LSU men won their match over North Carolina 4-1. North Carolina could have been a repeat champion. They won at Seminole Golf Club in 2022. But it's LSU with the win. It's the second time the team title is headed to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. In 2021, the inaugural Jackson T. Stevens Cup at the Alotian Club, the LSU women's golf team won. I had a chance to catch up with Jake Amos, the head coach of the LSU men. On the tee, Jake Amos.
Coach, congratulations. The LSU women won the first ever Jackson T. Stevens Cup, and the men have finally added a title under their belt. How does it feel?
We're delighted. We've heard how good this event is, how prestigious it is, and it's not going anywhere, and it's an elite event. So I feel like it's a great thing to have the men's team win it and the women's teams win it, and hopefully get to try and defend one day.
Yeah, well, next year, PGA Frisco, I'm sure you'll get an invite. They always invite the defending champions. How were you guys able to win today?
We're a little mad about how we ended the round yesterday. So that was kind of our motivation. We learned a lot from it, and we just tried to not give them anything. That was our goal. So just kind of, if they beat us on a hole, make them beat us, like make them make a birdie, and that was really all we tried to do. And I think we were just tough to beat. As you can see, we weren't down in a match ever the whole day, so that was nice.
You had some matches go extra holes, maybe slipping at the end. How do you fine-tune that and hope that doesn't happen if you're fortunate enough to get into another match play situation where you need all 5 guys?
Yeah, I mean, those guys, North Carolina played great down the stretch. Our guys didn't really do anything wrong. We had a couple chances to win. I think we just got a little bit tentative. We forgot we needed to stay aggressive and continue to try and make birdies. And to me, that's just a good experience for those guys that they know, how to handle it for when it matters in postseason.
When you got here to Shoreacres, had you seen it before? What were your thoughts?
No, everybody told me how amazing it was. As soon as we stepped foot, we were driving in, and I was looking at the edges of the bunkers and, the runoffs, and I'm a big Seth Rayner fan, and to me, like, this is probably his best one, I think. It's been incredible. They had a lot of rain, and it played softer than normal, but we got to see how it's supposed to play today, and it was a lot of fun.
When you talked with your guys at night after that first Sunday practice round, what was the mindset? What was the game plan for the Tigers to go out and try to attack this golf course? Or could you even try to attack it?
Well, nobody's really seen it. We had no blueprint of what it's done in the past. So the message was really just play whatever it gives us. We quickly found out it was firm. We had to play some different lines, we thought. We passed that message on to the guys and just told them to be patient. The way it works is the first 14 holes are pretty hard. Like, you just got to grind it out and take your chances and then kind of attack the last 4. So that was really our message, was just whatever the golf course gives us, we'll just take advantage of it. Don't try and force anything.
When you get back to Baton Rouge, what do you think the people are going to say about the Tigers winning this one?
Well, the best thing about LSU is everyone wins. So it's expected. And, so I think they'll give me a little handshake and say congrats and go win the next one.
How does this feel, winning here and getting ready for the rest of the fall, but then a jump start to the spring when you want to try and get back to California? Unfortunately, not able to get there last year. You and North Carolina, ironically, the two teams playing in the championship match, didn't make it to California last year for the NCAA championships. How does this give you motivation to get there?
I mean, it's our goal to win a national championship. That's the first thing we talk about in our meetings, and we really don't need any more motivation. Like, we know we've got a national championship caliber team, and it's just about doing our job and making sure we take care of what we're supposed to, everyone as an individual. And if we do that, we'll get there.
The SEC is a gauntlet. Texas didn't even make match play here, and they're one of the top teams in the country. You're one of the top teams in the country. Has to feel good to take home the hardware, though, doesn't it?
It does. I don't really like second place trophies, and we have a special shelf for them in our bathroom, and it feels great. Our guys love winning. It's our 5th win. It's my 5th win since I've been here in just over a year, and that's our goal every single time. We set up practice that way, and we're just trying to breed winners. And so our guys expect it, and they love this.
A second place trophy in the bathroom, a shelf for all of them.
Yep. So when you're sitting down and doing your business, you can look at it.
Coach, congratulations on the win here at Shoreacres and becoming the Jackson T. Stevens Cup champions of 2025.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The next time you travel to El Dorado and need overnight accommodations, the Haywood Hotel is where you need to stay. The Haywood El Dorado Tapestry Collection by Hilton is a great place to stay if you're in South Arkansas listening to live music or playing the challenging Mystic Creek Golf Club. Take time and relax in their bar for a drink before going out on the town for dinner. The Haywood, 210 South Washington, right in the heart of downtown El Dorado. Search the Haywood El Dorado on the web or call 800-293-0718 for reservations. The Haywood, a Beechwood hospitality property.
I'm Dr. Lowry Barnes. When it comes to orthopedic care, there's no place like the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. We built this hospital just for you, with state-of-the-art surgical suites, advanced technology, and the state's largest group of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons. It's the best place in Arkansas to get you moving again. And if you need urgent orthopedic care, UAMS Ortho Now is right here for you at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health, where motion lives and service leads.
Welcome back to this edition From the Short Grass, presented by UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. I am your host, Trey Schaap. The 5th annual Jackson T. Stevens Cup has come to a close, and you have heard from the individual champions and the 2 head coaches whose teams won this year at Shoreacres Golf Club in Lake Bluff, Illinois. Normally, I have a chance to catch up with Warren Stevens, who, with Bill McAtee, his good friend, came up with the idea of the Jackson T. Stevens Cup. With his busy schedule as ambassador to the United Kingdom, he was not able to make it to the United States for this year's competition. Warren has left the chairmanship to his sons, John and Miles Stevens. I had a chance to catch up with John Stevens after the final putt dropped last Wednesday at Shoreacres in Lake Bluff, Illinois. On the tee, John Stevens.
John, the 5th annual Jackson T. Stevens Cup comes to a close, and you've got a repeat champion on the team side and a new champion on the men's side in LSU. Your thoughts on how the tournament played out?
Well, I think it's been a great year. We're definitely proud to have the Demon Deacons repeat on the women's side and Will Sides repeat on the individual men's side. And to have LSU eke it out over North Carolina was a really great, dramatic way to finish between two great programs. So Shoreacres is a special place. The weather's been phenomenal. Everything's been great. So couldn't ask for anything more.
You and your brother, the co-chairmans of this event. Your dad, a little bit busy over the United Kingdom. How do you think the transition was with you two taking over?
Well, I think this year being here and everything going sort of so well made it really fun and easy for us, frankly. We didn't have too many unforeseen challenges. The competition was great, and everything kind of went our way. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been really a lot of fun for us to get more involved in it, be a part of it, kind of take the speaking roles, hand out the hardware at the end. It's been a lot of fun, and we're really proud to represent our dad while he's away and continue to honor our grandfather, who's done a lot. So
he had a passion for the game of golf, your grandfather. Your dad does as well, and I think you two, it's a family affair, basically, and bringing it to Shoreacres, it took their membership to want to have this here, and I thought it held up fantastically.
Absolutely. I had the privilege of playing here about a month and a half ago with some of my friends and members, and the pro joined us. His name's Dieter. He was worried that they were the college competitors were really going to kind of pick it apart and go low, and nobody really wants that when you're hosting a tournament. So for them to finish individual play, I think it's 7 under for the men, 8 under for the women over three rounds. I mean, there's a lot to respect there. It's not a long course, but the greens and the subtlety and the slopes and everything, it's tough. So you can be near the pin, but you're not in the hole. And I think everybody learned that this week.
I think everybody too got to see the Golf Channel presentation of it. Of what a fantastic and beautiful place that this is.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a one-of-a-kind place. Seth Rayner designed the back porch behind the clubhouse. We saw some bald eagles flying around. It's a really special, unique place in the world, and we are honored. So I want to give a big thanks and shout out to Shoreacres, the membership and the staff who really came together to make this happen.
Next year, PGA Frisco, north of Dallas. It should be fun there. No trees on that course. It's all flat.
Yeah, no, it's going to be different. It's going to be great, but it certainly is a different place than Shoreacres is. I think it's going to be tough competition. They can really max that place out, make it long. They're getting ready for some big tournaments there at the PGA and the Ryder Cup in a few years. It's a big boy golf course, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see what the players can do there. The infrastructure of that place, as you know, is pretty unbelievable. So they'll be tournament ready. I think Jack's Day with the kids is going to be great with the big putting greens and the par 3 course. So we're excited about it and excited to bring it back to Dallas, which is a great market for us.
I know I asked your dad, it seems like every time after this, the last 4 times, is I think Mr. Stevens would be proud. And I think he'd be proud today, don't you?
I know he would be, and maybe he's smiling down on us. I think he probably is, and he would be very proud. I think he'd be surprised that this even existed to begin with, but he would be proud, and I know he would love this place and love watching these amateurs compete and all that goes into it. Everybody has to come together as a team to make this happen. A lot of different people and institutions came together to make this happen, and I know he'd be proud of that.
John, thanks so much for your time. We'll see you next year.
Thanks, Trey. Appreciate it.
Next year, the Jackson T. Stevens Cup will head back to the great state of Texas, North Texas to be precise. Frisco, PGA Frisco, the host of the 2026 6th Annual Jackson T. Stevens Cup. We will be there to bring you a recap of all of the action about this time next year. Don't forget, it's Ryder Cup week at Bethpage Black. We'll have a recap of how the competition unfolds next week in our next episode of From the Short Grass, presented by UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. I want to thank Beechwood Hospitality, Matthew Allen and Blair Allen. They know how to manage hotel properties. In fact, the Moxie is now open in Northwest Arkansas. If you need a place to stay during a Razorback weekend when you're up in Northwest Arkansas, make sure you check out the Moxie Hotel, a Beechwood Hospitality property. That's it for this edition of From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine. Remember, when you find a ball mark on the green, fix it and a couple of more. And I hope to see you sometime soon from the Shortgrass.
You have been listening to From the Shortgrass, presented by UAMS Health, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, a weekly podcast dedicated to the game of golf. This has been a presentation of the Buzz Radio Network in association with Majestic Cubby Productions.